Hello guys, Miss Chris here, 23 years old, fresh graduate, now working on a cruise ship as a casino dealer. In today's vlog, I know that you guys have been waiting for my interview experience vlog, which is I needed to share about what I have experienced with the Magsaysay process and also the company that I am in right now. So right now we're here in Thailand. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to actually share to you na guys my experience with Magsaysay and also the company that I am right now, which is the Resorts World Cruises. First things first, as you may or may not know, there are two types of interview that you have to go through. So first interview na papasukan nyo is yung initial interview. Initial interview will be the first ever interview that you have to go through. It is coming from the Magsaysay representatives, which is your manning agency. I don't know for other manning agencies, but in this video, I'm just gonna tell you guys my experience and what you can expect as well, because I have asked also my colleagues which are recently hired also and yung kakasampa lang, and then they said that it's still the same. So I was hired way back 2023, and then up until now the process is still the same. You will have two types of interviews, which is the initial and then the final interview. For the initial interview, I would share to you guys what happened in that specific interview. Guys, this may or may not happen to you, but you can expect the same thing as they are still proceeding with this kind of process. So yeah, let's start. So I proceeded with an initial screening. So sa initial screening guys, meron akong pinagdaanan which is 4 steps. Meron akong pinagdaan ng 4 steps. First is yung initial interview. Yung initial interview that time is that I just needed to be interviewed by a Magsaysay human resource representatives or HR representative. So this is the one coming from Magsaysay. So I was just interviewed. I was just asked to introduce myself, explain my resume, and then what is the position that I'm applying for. And then there are some cases that would actually ask you to align yourself to the position that you have experience on your OJT or your on the job training. So because there are some people, they had their OJT, for example, being a waitress or a waiter, and then of course if you're applying for something like different from the position that you have experience on, they would ask you to be endorsed to the position which you have experience. Ganon. They can ask you if you would like to proceed with this kind of position, or would you like to stick to the position that you're applying for even though you are totally not connected with it. So I have a friend, she said na she was applying for casino dealer trainee. However, her resume entails that she have an experience on her on the job training as a waitress, so she was endorsed to become a waitress. She is now in Costa. She's a fresh graduate as well, but since she had this experience as a waitress in her OJT, so she was proceeded with that position sa Costa. With my experience, they just asked me what position do you like. So I actually put there yung casino dealer trainee and also yung front office receptionist, something like that. I told them the responsibilities of that job position, so I explained to them, and then they're like only observing me how I talk. They're just telling me that you should improve this one, like this. And then they told me that, and then they just asked me about the parts of my resume. So I highly suggest for you to study your resume. It doesn't have for you to actually memorize your resume. You just have to be familiar with it. And with being familiar, you know, any question that will be asked regarding with your resume, you can definitely answer, right? Because you're familiar what you have put. So that's why I also put on my last video about my resume vlog that don't put too much. That would make you have hard time to actually, you know, remember such things, diba? After the initial interview, I think you would be able to actually know whether you passed the initial interview or not, because I think if you didn't pass the initial interview, you will not proceed to the second step of the initial interview. For me, after I was interviewed, I asked to proceed for the second step, which is yung physical appearance check. Your physical appearance will be checked by the HR personnel or HR representative of Magsaysay again. So firstly, they will measure your height and then they will weigh you. So, you need to step into their weighing scale. So, ayun, chinek yung weight and height ko. And inas din yung age ko. And then after that, nung okay na, nasulatan nila yung age and yung height and then yung weight ko, actually the requirement is 5'3" for the casino dealer trainee. But luckily I was still considered because probably my grouping was good that time. That's why they actually reconsidered me. But yeah, the minimum requirement is 5'3". But when I got here sa cruise ship na, I saw a lot of people who are actually just 5 flat or I think lesser than 5 flat, And when I saw that, it's not that strict, ganun. So if you guys are wondering if you guys are gonna be accepted or not, if you are below 5 or you're just below 5'3", just try your luck and later you're gonna be accepted as well, right? So you never know. After I passed the physical appearance check, we proceeded to the English exam test. Yes guys, there is English exam. So I'm not telling you that you have to be perfect or you need to be fluent in English, but the thing is you must know the basic grammar na lang, ganon. Basic grammar, what to use, yung is or was, yung mga ganyan, had or have, and then yung mga past participle and past tense, present tense, yung mga ganun. Madali lang naman siya guys. It's just simple grammar test. But I needed you to be serious about it. Like, you have to think that if you didn't pass the English test, there's like a 50-50 chance of you getting hired because you really needed to have this English exam passed, because we all know that working on a cruise ship, it's not like you're just gonna be together with same nationality, right? You're gonna be together with different nationalities every day. Like for us, we always see Indians, we always see Myanmar, we always see Chinese, Indonesians, Filipinos as well, and other different nationalities on board the cruise ship. And for us to really have the teamwork, we need to understand each other, right? It's only by the means of using the English language. I told you, you don't have to be really perfect. You don't really have to really have that fluent kind of English, Hindi naman po kailangan na ganun. Kailangan lang talaga na you know how to understand and you know how to actually communicate effectively. You don't have to be fast as well, and if you're slow, it's okay as long as you're understandable. Iyon. So, may mga grammar test lang siya. So, there's no verbal test actually, because I think the verbal test will be initial interview, diba? Parang you are gonna be using the English language. So when you use the English language, of course, it's like a test for you as well na whether they would see you if you are qualified with how you speak and how you pronounce the words and how you communicate, ganon. So, dun pa lang nakita na nila kung okay yung English mo sa initial interview. So, if they know that you're gonna pass the English exam, you'll be proceeded to the English exam afterwards of the physical appearance check. So, lastly guys, is the math test. Since I have chosen 2 different positions, I think they really put me into the casino dealer trainee because that one doesn't require any experience. That's why they proceeded me with the English and math exam. I think if you guys are gonna be having different positions other than being a casino dealer, I think you will not have the math exam. There's no need for you to get the math test because in other departments, it doesn't have for you to be good in math. Ganon, I think. Probably the reason why they had me get the math exam, it's because they're foreseeing me being in the casino dealer trainee position because As you may know, that position doesn't require any experience at all. Your OJT, your experience will be all disregarded if you are going to be applying for that position, because that position doesn't really require anything. As in zero, guys. If you guys are fresh graduate, just come out of college, you know how to speak in English, you're kind of good in math na, and you have the confidence, I think you're gonna be able to pass the position. That's why you need to be all those things, guys. But I don't want you to get pressured of everything, because I want you to be just enjoying the process, because it's not so strict, guys. Don't worry, it's not so strict. Okay, guys, recap tayo sa initial interview, which is you're gonna be together with the HR representative of Magsaysay. They would have to know you first. You're just gonna tell them about yourself, about your resume and everything. And then second, you're gonna have to be on the physical appearance check, which is they will check your grooming, they will check your teeth, as well your face. Your scars doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter, guys. I have so many scars on my arms. I have so many scars on my face, like tiny the one from pimples, and also as well as on my legs. It doesn't matter, guys. Don't worry, because I think as long as you don't have tattoos on the parts of your body that is gonna be visible with the uniform, you're just fine. Don't get too much worried. But I think if you have tattoos here, or here on your hands, I think it's not allowed, because as casino dealers, really not allowed to have any tattoos, because we're gonna be right in front of the players, which is the passengers of the cruise ship. And then, guys, the English test, the grammar test, is just easy, guys. As in, you're just gonna have to choose multiple choice naman siya, guys. So, take your time. There's no limit on the time for you to answer the question. So, just take your time. And then, lastly, math test. If you're gonna be proceeding with the casino dealer trainee position, the one we don't have experience requirement, well, you really have to be prepared with it. The ano lang, yung addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, and some fractions as well, which is kind of easy naman. Yung ano lang, fractions and yung percentage, ganyan. So, what is the 5% of 70? Yung mga ganun lang naman, which is, I think you can do it. Because, guys, I would have to be really honest with you. When I go to the initial interview that time, I have no idea that there's a math test. I'll be honest, I'm not really into math. When I was in college, high school, and even elementary, my math scores in the exams are really low, and then my math grades are really low. Like, have my parents really begged for the teacher for me just to be passed, like that. Kaya sabi ko sa inyo, guys, hindi naman talaga kailangan na maging sobrang galing nyo sa math. I think you just have to really learn yung percentage, yung ayun nga, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. That's all. Like the basic math lang. You don't have to learn about the calculus and whatsoever. Just the basic math, because in casino, diba, guys, it's just basic math. It's just business math, like that. So, I also studied accountancy, business, and management when I was in senior high school. That's why I think it's kind of helpful naman. Ganon. And there are some tricks that I used before. Kasi, for example, if I'm gonna be looking for the 5% of such a number, I will just cancel 1 0 and then divide it by 2. Ganon yung ginagawa ko. So, you guys, you can do like studying all the casino math, up to you. But for me, really, I had no idea, and I made it, and I hope you guys can make it too, because I had 46 over 50 that time. The exam is composed of 50 items, and I think you need to pass at least 75% of it. Ganon. So, luckily, we were able to pass. So, yun lang yan, guys. Yun lang initial interview. Yun lang yung kailangan mong i-expect sa initial interview. And then after that, guys, you need to wait for the final interview email. Invitation yan siya. So, afterwards of you getting to the initial interview, you can expect an email from them that you have passed the initial interview and you are invited for the final interview, which they will include the date on the email. So don't worry, guys, they will include everything, all the details that you need to do, and you don't have to ask any other people, like for sa mga Facebook ganyan, you don't have to ask, so what is the meaning of this email and everything. If you have questions regarding with their email, you can ask directly them. So I suggest that don't ask any other people than the person in Magsaysay na ganon. So, yun guys, yun lang naman yung initial interview ko. I told you it's just very fast and easy. I hope you guys will be able to pass through it. So, last nga guys is yung experience ko with the final interview. For the final interview, my experience with the final interview is kind of different from what I've experienced sa initial interview. Kasi yung final interview will be the interview together with the human resource representative of the cruise line company na. So, it's not the Magsaysay anymore. It's the main company na. So, you would have to expect like a high level of confidence requirement for you to actually be on it. And I think you really need to put 100% of your effort, of your confidence, and all of the things that requires you to actually be presentable on the interview. So, eto na yun, guys. Because for the final interview, I told you guys, it's the HR representative of the company na. And it's an high-level kind of interview na. Kasi, as you know, the one will interview you might be a Malaysian or any other nationality. And have also yung Filipino na nag-i-interview. But I think for the casino staffs, some of them are being interviewed with Malaysian interviewer. So, for other departments, I think it's Filipino, but depends as well. They might change it to the Filipino, the one interviewing the casino staff, or something different. But I think it's all just the same. Their questions and their process. So, ang naging experience ko lang kasi nun, guys, is maaga akong pumunta, and then because there's a given specific time, but then I chose to be early, which is fine and good, because if you're early, you can find a seat for you to sit in, because if you're kinda late, probably you would not have any seat to sit in. And then if maaga ka din, it's like you have an idea what will be going on for the first people who's gonna be going inside of the building na. Actually, yung Magsaysay building, it's a huge building which can cater so many people and also have cafe inside. Meron ding parang mini restaurant inside. Ganun. Actually, malawak siya. And there are a lot of chairs for the applicants to actually sit in. But the thing is, of course, it can be filled right if so many applicants. I think there are 80 applicants that time. And then, so I don't know the setup, who and which person will be the first one to be called. But the thing is, you really have to wait. Like, you know, you don't have any idea whether your name will be called now or later or late or something like that. So, you really have to expect that you would have to stay for a long time there. But actually, if your name wasn't called yet, upon having lunch, they will give you some time to say na mag-lunch muna kayo, ganyan-ganyan, and then you just come back at this time or 1 p.m. ganyan. And then when you come back, you're gonna be expecting that the line will start again, ganon. So, dahil sobrang aga kong pumunta nun, guys, mga nakauwi na ako 7 p.m. ganon. Inabot kami ng, I think, 5 p.m. Tapos, ayun, nakauwi ako ng mga 7, 8, or 9. Something, kasi pauwi pa ako ng Bulacan nun. So, yun guys, my interview experience with the final interview is with a Malaysian. I wasn't really expecting that I will be called in a late time. But as you know, guys, since you know that it was my dream, and it was like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So there's like no complaint coming out from my head, or coming out from my brain, coming out from my mouth. Like, why is it so taga? Why taking so much time? Ganun. There's no words like that. Like, I would say to myself, whatever time I will be called, it's okay. I can stay here up until 12 midnight as long as they interview me, and then they will tell me that I'm hired. Ganon. Wala talagang, pag-aalinlangan. I can stay for long. I can just not eat. It's okay as long as I will get interviewed, because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So why not, right? And then, guys, okay, so this is where comes my experience na with the interview. So I entered the room. I greeted her, good afternoon. Of course, I cannot really specifically remember everything one by one, diba? So I really put it sa notes ko. So ayun nga, pumasok ako ng room, and then I greeted her, good afternoon. Like, hello ma'am, good afternoon, like that. And then she asked me to sit, and then I sit. There's a chair for the interviewee, and then there's also a chair for the interviewer. So it's like face to face, one-on-one session, ganyan. And then there's a long table in the middle of us. So it's me, the long table, and then her as the interviewer. So I sit, and then actually, guys, it was so awkward since it was actually like minutes of silence. Like, I sat on the chair, and I was expecting like a very communicative type of conversation between us, but the thing is, it just took a very silent moment talaga na hindi kami nagsasalita sa isa't isa. I cannot directly speak up, if I know that she's kind of busy with the papers, because actually she's kind of busy with the papers. She's looking through the papers. I think the papers that are previously interviewed, and also the papers that are gonna be next. And then for a few minutes, it was all just silent. I feel shy, and then later she's kind of busy with the papers, and then I'm trying to talk, right? It's like not so respectful, because for us to actually have the connection within the conversation, we need to look by eye, diba? We need to have eye contact. But yeah, she's busy with the papers, and then I just waited for a little long, and then until she hold my paper. She was holding my paper, and then she's just going through my paper, and then she's looking, and then I started to really voice out. I started to introduce myself, because I feel like she's trying to also see if am I gonna say something or what, because it was just really silence, guys. Kinakabahan na ako kasi it's like I feel like, oh, what if she's not interested in me? What if she's gonna say that I'm not fit into this position, like that's like this. So yeah, I was really kind of nervous. That's why I started the conversation already. So I started introducing myself, saying my full name, and then I graduated from what college degree, from what year, and then my OJT and something. Basta I just go through in my head. I'm going through my resume, trying to present my resume in front of her, even without me holding something. That's why. And then after that one, guys, she said okay, like that. I feel like, oh my gosh, she's not interested with me, because she just said okay, so what's next, like this. And then she said, do you have any experience? And then she asked me like that. And then of course we need to be honest. We need to tell her that actually, ma'am, I don't have experience, but I'm very much willing to learn. Alam ko, nagasgas na yan, cliche, they would have called it, but like, I really need to say that I'm very much willing to learn, I'm very much willing to be trained, and I will do my best for the upcoming job that they would give me. They will try to give me as an opportunity, so everything. And then, as I have told you guys, I'm applying for 2 positions, right? Which is the front desk officer and the casino dealer trainee. And then she told me, you're applying for front desk position. So if you want to continue with this front desk position, you would have to gain 1 year of experience and come back to me. She said like that. She said, It's like she's really trying to stop the conversation already. It's all finished because if I wanted to be on the front desk position, I just need to take 1 year of experience and then just apply again. Parang ganun, na-stop na. But I clicked my head and then I told myself, okay, 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 relax, relax. Okay, she's just trying to say that if my position is like that, it's all the end for me. But there's still a chance because as we have put on the form as well, I'm applying for the casino dealer trainee. So I told her, oh, that's the thing, ma'am. Okay, okay. So I'm okay with the other position if it doesn't require me any kind of experience and I could start right away. Well, I'll be willing to take the casino dealer trainee position. No problem with me. And the edge that I have right now is that I have all the documents ready. I have all my Seaman's book. I have all the trainings already, and I really prepared for this. So if you're gonna allow me to be proceeding with the casino dealer trainee position, I'll be willing and I'll be happy. I told her like that, and then she was like, okay. After that, guys, it was just silence again, like this, like this. I was kinakabahan na talaga. I was so nervous because, oh, why like this? Always have silence between us. But I think it's just her way of really analyzing my paper and then analyzing that this girl have prepared so much for this application and why not try to consider her. Probably I was thinking like that. That's why medyo nare-relieve yung kaba ko, ganyan. And then, she kept something underneath her table and then she showed me some pictures. So this one is the Ishihara test. Ishihara test is like a colorblind test. They will have to show you a picture and then you would have to identify the number or the letter in that picture. This is normally used for casino dealer trainees or casino dealer positions. Because in casino, we really need to be identifying which color. We cannot be colorblind because as you know, the cards have different colors and then the chips have different colors as well. So we cannot be colorblind. That's why it's like a very, very important thing for being a casino dealer. So sad to say, guys, if you are colorblind, I would have to say that you cannot pass through this position. Really, you can just apply for other positions, no problem. Don't be so down about it because there are so many other positions that you can apply for. So ayun, guys, she showed me the colorblind test and I was able to pass it. And then after that, she said okay, and then after that she asked me one last question. She asked me, what is the 5% of 70? What is the 5% of 70? So, nag-iisip na ako nun. Ginawa ko na yung tactic ko, yung cancel 10 divide by 2. So, cancel mo yung 0 ng 70. So, wala ng 0. And then, naiwan yung 7. I-divide mo sa 2. So, 3.5. So, I confidently told her, the answer is 3.5. And then, you know what she told me? Wrong. She said like that to me. She said, wrong, your answer is wrong. And then, I confidently answered back. I said, no ma'am, you can check on your calculator. The answer is 3.5. And then, that's the time I think she really tested me if I have the confidence to, to answer the question. Because I understand now, as I have already gained my 3 contracts in this company as a casino dealer, I finally understand now being confident with numbers, with the answers, is the key for you to become a dealer. Because you would have to prepare the payments and you should be confident with it. It should not be less or more. It should be exactly. So the payment should be exactly. And then with the help of your inspector, everything will be easy. But of course, the inspector cannot have 4 eyes for you to be really inspected like for so many hours, right? So you need to be confident by yourself. And by means of that, now I understand why my interviewer asked me and tell me I was wrong that day. So yun, guys, my tip for you is just to be confident and just think twice lang. If you're not confident, just think twice. And then if you, after you thinking twice, if you know that the answer is correct, so just say that you are correct and everything will be fine. And if, for example, you're wrong, you can just smile, you can just laugh and then tell her the real answer. And guys, so that was just my experience. So she just told me, okay, we will just tell you if ever you passed it or not. Before I actually leave the room, she told me lose weight. So I think it's a kind of confirmation also that I actually passed the interview, because she's telling me to lose weight already, because there's gonna be a next step for me. That's why I was kind of hopeful as well. So yeah, I'm so happy. That was just my interview experience, guys, and then I hope you learn something from it and you can apply it to your future interview. So yeah, I'll see you again next time. But yeah, I would just like to tell you guys that I will be preparing more vlogs for you and more information regarding how to apply and all the tips that you need for you to be able to be here as well. So bye guys. It's my turn for the massage. It's my turn, so bye guys. Good luck on your interview.